I spent 1 year in the army. Now, how does my experience help you? Let's get into it. One thing my time in the army definitely showed me: humans are not made of sugar. You won't melt just because it's raining, and you won't break just because things get tough. The truth is, you can withstand a hell of a lot more than you think. People love to say,
if you stay out in the cold, you'll catch a cold.
but the thing is, that's not how it works. I was cold for 3 days straight, trembling almost non-stop. By the second day, all my clothes were soaked, and they stayed soaked. It was winter, no fire, no heat. The only warmth we had was a tiny flicker of a lighter my body smuggled in. Just a couple of seconds of flame in our tent to warm our hands. We barely slept 2 hours a night. And out of 20 people, guess how many got sick? 0. In fact, one guy who was already sick when we started, he somehow got better. What does this mean for you? Because this proves something most people don't realize. For once, being cold doesn't automatically mean you'll get sick, because most of the time it's not the environment that breaks us, it's our mindset. We love to make excuses for why we can't do things. I won't run today, it's raining. My muscles are a little sore, I'll take a break today. I have an exam coming up, I can't train right now. I'm just not
motivated.
If you really care about yourself, stop that. You are stronger than you think. How do you plan on getting to know all that power that's inside of you if you don't give yourself the chance to explore it? Because this is the foundation of self-discipline. And we'll get deeper into that shortly. Now, on the other hand, you have to be at least a little smart. I have seen dozens of younger recruits, even experienced veterans, wrecking their body by pushing themselves the wrong way. The result? Chronic pain, destroyed knees, messed up backs. I mean, look at me, I'm in this example. Just because your body can withstand extreme stress doesn't mean you should expose it to it daily. And yes, while this sounds logical, not many really understand it. You have to be smart about how you push yourself. This is one of the most valuable lessons in life, and it applies to everything. Because stress, it's everywhere. It's in driving, in speaking to people, in making a simple phone call. If you want to master anything, you need to understand stress and control it. Here's how. Before you push forward, ask yourself, how hard is this for me? I mean, really. If you're speaking to someone new, how bad is it actually? If you're running, how difficult is 3K at your current pace? How much effort does 10 minutes of focused practice take? Be brutally honest. Leave pride and ego behind. Lying to yourself will only hold you back. Pay attention to what stress is doing to your mind and body. Is your stomach tensing up? Are your shoulders locking? After a tough workout, are you sore or completely wrecked? It might take some time to learn the language of your body, but your body is always giving you feedback. Listen to it. This is where 90% of people fail. Not all stress is bad, but not all stress is useful either. Constructive stress pushes you past your comfort zone, making you better. Destructive stress pushes you too far, too fast. It breaks you down. If you really pay attention, you'll notice. When you're comfortable, everything feels easy. If you push the boundary, things feel challenging but manageable. And when you go too far, it feels like you're breaking. Here's a simple key. To get better at anything, social, mental or physical, you'll have to push slightly past your comfort zone, but just a tiny bit. Run 1 extra minute, talk to 1 more person, focus for just 2 minutes more. And suddenly you'll realize that phone call you dreaded didn't leave you mentally wrecked. That workout you almost skipped, you're sore but you're fine. That public speech, you didn't die. Which might mean that you were inside your comfort zone all along. At this point, progress in any skill becomes a form of self-understanding. It's not about breaking yourself, it's about building yourself, piece by piece. Patience, discipline, training smart, that's the real game. The feeling of stepping inside a warm room after days of cold, constant wind in your face, it's just magical. I still remember it, staring at the walls in awe. For the first time in my life, I truly admired the wall. Not just saw it, admired it. I looked at the bricks, the structure, and for the first time, I felt deep gratitude for the men who had put them together. Brick by brick, with their time, their sweat, their effort, because at that moment, I realized something. I had been deeply ungrateful for so many things. Let me challenge you. Next time you step into a supermarket, look around. Look at the absolute abundance of food, the fresh produce, the variety, the insane convenience of it all. And then tell yourself, this is completely normal. No, it is absolutely not. For this to exist today, generations of people have worked their asses off. Millions of people are currently working in sync. From the farmers growing the food, to the transport workers, to the cashiers at the store. All of them contribute to the miracle that you take for granted every day. And yet we act like it's nothing. But here's the thing, gratitude isn't just about being thankful. I'm telling you this because gratitude can rewire the way you see life. You don't express gratitude to benefit the store cashier. You don't do it for the food company. You do it for yourself. Studies prove it. Gratitude is directly linked to greater happiness, more positive emotions, better sleep, lower risk of heart disease, and stronger mental resilience. Gratitude doesn't just change your mood, it transforms your whole life experience. Start small, make it mentally. Thank the people around you for being part of your life. Thank your exes for the hardships that made you grow. Thank every challenge for making you stronger. And if you forget to do it during the day, do it before bed. But don't just say it, mean it. Search for real reasons to be grateful. The first time it might feel weird, but stick with it. And over time, your entire mindset will shift. Suddenly, you'll see life not through a lens of expectations, but appreciation. Most people only appreciate things when they lose them. That's why my advice is do not wait for hardship to teach you gratitude. Make it a habit now and watch how your life will change. This next lesson completely changed the way I see relationships, especially friendships. In the army, you're forced to be a good comrade. It's not just a nice idea, it's an actual rule. So what does it mean to be a good comrade? No matter if it's training, real life or combat, you always look out for your fellow soldiers. If someone is struggling, you help physically, mentally, emotionally. If a comrade falls behind during a march, you don't just march ahead. You carry part of their load. You push them forward with one arm. You even let them grab onto your backpack, dragging them along if you have to. I remember one brutal training session. I had pushed myself to the limit. So much that I puked, collapsed, and couldn't move. I was lying on my back, completely done. We had to keep going, but my body just wouldn't respond. And then I saw a figure stretching out a hand. My vision was blurry, I barely could make out his face. But at that moment, he looked like an angel, reaching out to save me in my darkest moment. Of course, it wasn't an angel, it was just one of my guys, one of my comrades. He pulled me up, shook me back to life and helped me keep moving. In the army, you see people at their absolute best and their absolute worst. And that teaches you everything you need to know about them. I saw a guy break down after a brutal breakup, feeling like his world was falling apart. And you know what happened? We were all there. Sitting around the poor dude, patting him on his back, telling him uplifting stories, because that's what a brotherhood is. And sadly for most of us, that is not normal in everyday life. That's why choose carefully who you spend your time with. You and everybody else's time is limited. Every minute you give to someone and they give to you is a minute neither they or you will get back. So ask yourself this: are the people around you all talk and no action? Do they inspire you, push you and have your back? Don't just listen to what people say. Watch what they do. The guy who slacks off in a team project, letting you do all the work, that's the guy who leave you hanging when life gets tough. The person who stops trying after one rejection? That's the same mindset that keeps people stuck in jobs they hate and relationships they don't want. The friend who's too busy to chase their dreams but spends hours scrolling on their phone. That's the same person who wake up in 10 years wondering where their life went. Want good friends? Be a good friend. Before you start calling out others, take a good, hard look in the mirror. Ask yourself, would I want to be friends with me? Because if you want real friendship, you have to become the person who you'd want as a friend. Character isn't only what you say, it's what you do when nobody's watching. Discover what being a real friend means to you, and then live by it. Most people will come and go. Very few will stand by your side when it truly matters. Find those people, be one of those people, and you'll never walk alone. And now for the last point on this list, I've teased it already, self-discipline. Now, I know this might sound funny, but in my opinion, the army does not teach you self-discipline. It teaches you discipline, and that's a big difference. In the army, you're disciplined because if you're not, you get punished. It's a simple system. You follow orders or you pay for it. I know of too many comrades who were disciplined from Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. But the second they were off duty, chaos. Weekends, wow. Why? Because the system wasn't forcing them anymore. And that's why the army doesn't necessarily make you self-disciplined. In daily life, there is no superior officer who will scream your eardrums to nirvana if your bedsheet has a wrinkle on it. No one is going to really punish you if you wake up a little later. No one will force you to go on a run. And no one will hold you accountable except for you. And for the record, my bedsheets look horrible right now. Discipline means following external rules. And self-discipline means creating your own rules and following them like they're written in stone. And this is a superpower. Because this is where you start shaping yourself. This is your tool to carve out the kind of human you want to be. And here's the key. Self-discipline has nothing to do with motivation. Motivation is like happiness, a fluctuating feeling. Today you feel motivated, tomorrow you might not. If you rely on motivation alone, you will fail. Because motivation will not carry you through the hard days. In fact, on hard days, your feelings will be the enemy. That's why when those days hit, you need a damn good reason to keep at it. Let's take fitness as an example. A not smart discipline rule is, I will work out every single day, no excuses, I will push myself to the limit on every training. If this is you, I wish you best of luck and please don't take this personal, but I think it's dumb. It's not realistic, life happens. It's not sustainable, you'll burn out and get injured. And it's too rigid, no room for adjustment. A smart self-discipline rule would sound like this. I will work out for at least 30 minutes 4 times a week and track my progress. On very tough days, I will at least stretch to maintain consistency. Why is that smart? It's flexible, you can choose the days. It's realistic, 4 sessions a week is manageable. And it's adaptable. On very hard days, you will still be doing something to stay consistent. As one special forces guy once told me, every good rule has some wiggle room.